Good evening and welcome to the Songbook Sessions, edition 15. My name's Stuart Earl and I'm a singer-songwriter and live in Stroud in Gloucestershire. So, here we are. This week we go into lockdown part 2. It's going to be tough on a lot of people, and never mind the COVID-19, I think it's going to be a problem for a lot of people with their mental health. Look after yourselves, everyone, as far as that goes. Now, a little bit of information. I was listening this week to, I'm a big Crowded House fan and I like Neil Finn, and if you follow him on Facebook or the interweb or whatever, then I suggest you go to neilfinn.com/Fang Radio. I'll just put that up for you. This is where he does his broadcasting on an ad hoc basis, and I was listening to his solo performance of the debut Crowded House album. He just did the whole thing straight through on acoustic guitar, mistakes the lot, and definitely worth a listen. And next he's going to do their second album, which was the fabulous Temple of Low Men. I like that one. So if you can, give him a look. He's great. Let's get rid of that. So, next up, what have we got? Oh, to start tonight, we've got a good friend of mine, the fabulous, he's got a voice like Neil Finn actually, the fabulous Graham Mizzen, and he's got a new song, which is More Than You Can Chew.
Borderline, couldn't get to grips, out of time, and nothing seemed to fit. I gave it all, couldn't make it good, so I had to think it through to get things understood. Could it be? Well, had I been naive, 'cause maybe I just had to believe that there'd be hell from others far and near, with someone there to guide you. You need to have no fear. There's daylight, sunlight, if you let it in. You may just need that little shove to help you to begin. Well, 3 times, 4 times, once or twice will do. But don't be afraid to bite off more than you can chew. Well, just relax, let it all come through, take control, and let the people do what they do. They'll see you to the end, well, that you can be sure of, on that you can depend. There's daylight, sunlight, if you let it in. Feel not for the failures, just take them on the chin. Well, aim high, hang loose, you know what to do. But don't be afraid to bite off more than you can chew. You think I'm wrong? Well, wait just a minute. It's not just that you live your life, it's more what you do with it, yeah! Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. that's not all. There's more to say. Don't look back behind you, you'll never be the same. Can you hear that rhythm? Maybe that's the sound of now. Oh, stay like sunlight if you let it in. You may just need that little shove to help you to begin. Well, 3 times, 4 times, maybe 1 or 2 will do. But don't be afraid to bite off. Don't turn your light off. Yeah, you can bite off more than you can chew.
Thanks, Graham. And let's go to my special guest. This week is a great friend of mine, the fantastic Jane Pearl. And Jane is an American lady. She's from Kentucky. And she's been in the UK about 20 years, I think. And 20 years, many bands, many musicians, many husbands. I've done many gigs with her. And it's always great. She has a fantastic voice, and she's a great songwriter in her own right. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is that Jane is leaving us. Jane's going back to the US. She's going back to help her family, I think specifically her son. So I thought I'd get in touch with her before she goes, because I don't know when that's going to be as yet, and have a chat with her and go through some of her musical bits and pieces. So, let's have a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, Jane Pearl. Well, I
Hmm.
mean, I'm delighted that you're going back to your family. That's absolutely brilliant, and I'm sure you're absolutely delighted and looking forward to it. But it's
I am. I am.
massive
I mean,
loss for us.
I miss everybody here, but like I keep telling you all, if I'm not there, you can't come and visit me. So now you can come and visit me. You know, it's all good. It's all good.
You lay
It's the
on
way
the
it should.
gigs and we'll be there.
Well, see, that's just it. I figure what's going to happen is it'll do the same here that it does there, and what it'll do is you'll end up, like um, you'll just end up doing like concert halls like you just did last week,
Yeah.
and everything will be planned and everything will be,
Mm.
divvied out like it should be, everybody being safe and everything.
Yeah.
And people will be more willing to, pay the price for a ticket
Well,
and really look forward
that
to
could be a
the
good thing
scheduling,
to come out of it. Yeah. Yeah.
which will, it'll make the like the arts, um, that people they miss it so much they'll be willing to pay for that ticket.
Yeah.
They'll be willing to, and they'll be happy to have that schedule.
That'll be a good
That
counterbalance to the music is free thing that we've had over the last few years, which has been just, well, pointless and
yeah,
appalling.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But the thing is, it's also showed a lot of people that there's, the free music they were getting was like quality for free,
Mm.
and so that's what the thing is going to be about. Is going to be about the fact that they're going to be, realizing now that, oh man, we had it good. We just didn't know how good we had it, and now they're going to go, oh, so it's 10 a pound a ticket. Well, yeah, I'll pay that
Yeah.
gladly. So yeah, that's what it'll do. It just educated them is all it did.
Well, let's hope so.
I have just thoroughly enjoyed playing music with you. I mean, I've just absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean,
Well,
every moment has been a memory. And I will have that when I'm old and can't eat my food in the nursing home. I will have that going through my brain time after time, and I'll have a little chuckle, not at your expense, but at the fun times we've had. So it will work. It
I
will
can't
work well.
believe you're breaking up the band, Jane.
I know, I know. And just after we got kind of a regular group
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I know, I know,
And
I know.
what, with the guys we had in the band, wow, that was quite something, wasn't it?
Well, I like the fact that, what in Bowling Green they do this thing where they call it the All Stars, and what they do is they put on. Yeah, lately that's a lot of that All Star stuff has gone on is because
Okay.
nobody can work with each other. Their bands are all broken up or doing something else. Because they're um,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, one is like Sam Bush, who is he's just now got his bluegrass boys back together, but he's been traveling with I think it was Plant Robert before that, but I
Mm.
don't hold me to that. But the every time I turn on the posts from my friends, it's like, okay, all star this or studio stars, or from Nashville, all the guys that would be working in the studio are just playing with each other,
Mm.
you know. So we'll have to have one of those. We'll have to have the British stars, or
Yeah.
something. We'll have to,
Imports.
studio boys, the British studio boys or something, you know. So we'll have all kinds of. We can have all kinds of combos over there, just like we did here. So
Yeah.
it'll
Well, tell me
be.
about Bowling Green then. What's you said there used to be coal mining there, was there?
um, yeah, all like Muhlenberg County and all the different places up in the hills. It was all coal mining, and we had it just like they did here in Wales. We would during the war and all that. It was before that. It's been my history. Coal mine has been my history of my state for
Hmm.
since
Okay.
18 something, 16 something. It's always happened in Kentucky because we're just kind of like it is. It's ironic actually how I landed in a spot that's almost exactly like my home
Oh,
in
really?
Kentucky. Yeah. Yeah, because Gloucester is all, you got the forest all around it, and then
Hmm.
you got on the other side you have Cheltenham and all that, fancy smancy kind of what do they call them? Resort towns and all that stuff. Well, we had those too. It's just that we had Louisville, which was on the line, the river line between Indiana, Ohio, and Georgia. That up there
Hmm.
where the jumping off spot is. So that's 2 hours away. In between that is Mammoth Cave Park, which is like, we're talking like a cave system that is over 200 miles of cave system, and they've just found out that they think it's twice that because they're just now discovering more of the cave.
Wow.
And it was the eighth wonder of the world.
I don't know
And
any of
then
these
you have,
names. Have I been living
yeah,
under a rock? What's going on?
no, you all have no knowledge of these things. I think that's what I'm here for, is to tell you how it works.
Okay. Oh,
But
okay.
then past the Mammoth Cave is Bowling Green, which it was a 40,000 people place when I left,
Hmm.
but I think it's now been voted the second largest growing town in all the United States.
Hmm. Crikey.
So that tells you just how big, and it's got a university and everything. So
Oh, right.
it's kind of like Gloucester, actually.
Hmm.
It started out fairly small, and then it just gets bigger and bigger, and that's what's going on. Gloucester will meet up with Cheltenham at some point or town. And Bowling Green's is only an hour from Nashville.
Right,
And that's
because
just bad traffic.
Rachel is in Nashville, isn't it? Your
Hmm.
daughter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Rachel's in Nashville.
Hmm. How's she
Yeah.
getting on?
She's fine. Yeah, they're fine. They're just enjoying their space now. Just trying
Hmm.
to stay away from everybody. Her fiance is very much about the outdoors, so he goes hiking and biking and all that, and kayaking
Oh, okay.
all around the national forest over there. And there's Chattanooga, all the hills up there, and beautiful falls all over the place. Just gorgeous places. As a matter of fact, a rattlesnake went across the path in front of him, and
Oh, right.
it was a 10-footer. It was big,
This is not a
a
good idea.
big rattlesnake.
Right.
And he took a picture of it, but it was one of those rattlesnakes, like, well, if I don't acknowledge you, you can't see me if I don't see you. And he just went on by, tail in the air, no rattling going on, just tail in the
Well,
air. Off he went.
yeah, we don't have rattlesnakes in Stroud. We have some snakes. I've met a few, but we don't have any rattlesnakes.
If
So
it
you're not
wasn't
giving
on
up
his,
songwriting, are you, when you go to the States?
oh, can you do that? Can
I
you give
don't
up
know. I don't think I
songwriting?
could.
I was gonna say, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I would like to think I could, but I can't
So we
do
can
it.
expect to hear some output from you at some point.
Oh, well, it's just like I told Lyndon, we're at the point now where it was anyway, would be to, um, I would say, we get together, the three of us get together, and I'd say I got a new one, and they'd say, okay, well, give it to us then, and I'd say, okay, and of course I would play it in something like a GCD,
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
or I'd do a B flat and F C thing, and then they would put like, oh, make it a completely different tune, and it would just sound,
I know.
so, you know, well, there was no way I was going to say no, I don't like that, because it'd be like marvelous, and then I'd say, and then I hear this. And like I told you before, sometimes they treat me like a wife, because I would say, I would give them the tune, and then they would be embellishing. And then I would say, okay, now on the chorus, I hear this going on. And they would just totally ignore me and carry on embellishing the tune, and acted like I didn't exist.
Right. Okay. That
and,
sounds about right.
and,
Yeah.
and then they'd look up and they'd say, um, then one of them will go, well, does the harmony come across and do say exactly what I'd said, but act like it was their idea.
Right. Okay.
So I just,
So
I just got to play.
these are your odd fellows.
Yeah, these are my bestest buds.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. I know.
So
Yeah.
I would have to go. Oh, really? You think that's what we need to do? And they go, "Oh, did you say that?" I went, "Yes, I said that." So yeah, yeah. That's just. But you know how creativity is. You think,
Indeed.
oh, you do a line. And I mean, you work all day on just one line, and you think, oh, I okay, I'll work on that tomorrow. And then you get up the next day and you either can't remember what you did the day before,
Yeah, I'll do that.
or you have to check what you've recorded, or you do it completely different and like it better, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I'm sure you've done all of those
Well, yeah,
things.
absolutely. Yeah, in reverse order, and it's just, I don't know. It's such an odd, frustrating process. Drives me mad. Because when you want to do something, generally you can't think of anything. But then when you actually
When
get
it
some
comes,
inspiration, you think, "Oh, Jesus, I haven't got time. I'm supposed to be doing this or that," and it drives
yeah,
me mad, crazy. But I'm always writing stuff down, and I've got a little file on my phone that I tend to just drop bits of lyrics and stuff in that I want to put in. But yeah, it's all good stuff.
because that's generally. See, look here at my desk,
What's that?
full.
Is that the
It's
Bible?
full of. This is the song Bible. Every other page has, words or actual songs. TikTok's in here, I think, but
Excellent.
not enough. Songs, whole songs and parts of songs and loop. Yeah, and just things like you talk about. You know. Uh, this was what I wrote about. Somebody gave me a tragic story,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I wrote down that thought of the day with it. So some of these I just had to do melodies, and you know, so that I've just got to do melodies. So that's what I have a day of melodies, and then one day I have a day of words, and then if I'm
Okay,
lucky, I get the whole blooming song.
that's
So
pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah, stitch it all
but
together.
yeah, yeah. So I also I'm trying to write a story about Black Matters because um there's local guys that I work with that are very uh, well known in town.
Hmm.
And what I wanted to do was talk about how white people, you know, need to start thinking differently, even if they are the ones that help with everything, and that Black people need to think about white people differently to give them the chance
Yeah,
to be
meet in the
different.
middle, as it were. Yeah. Mm.
So that's I set little goals for myself. I'm not sure I really did it, but I got two verses that I think is okay.
Well, you just need
So
that difficult third one, then, don't you?
yeah, yeah,
That's the problem.
yeah.
That's where I always
I
fall
got
over.
yeah. Well, no, I don't think so because your new song. I really liked your bridge and your tie together verse. I thought
Oh,
that was
right.
really just
What was
just
that
the
one?
last one you played.
Yeah.
Speaking of, because it was just like, oh wow, that's really good.
Love
I
songs.
was jealous.
Love songs for no one to hear.
Yeah, that song's no one to hear. Yep, that's the ones. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's
And I
funny,
thought you
isn't it?
tied it. I like the way you tied it together like that.
Yeah.
It sounded
Yeah. Otherwise, they could just, I don't know. Songwriting's weird, isn't it? It's got to
well.
be
I
difficult.
think that it's I've been listening to some really I don't know weird stuff lately. I've been making myself listen to it because it
Hmm.
comes up on my screen and I think, oh okay, I'll have a listen to that. And some of it is just terribly clever and um complex, you know, and I'm not sure how it makes me feel. It's like it could be jazz, and it's just like, oh, you know, that just sounds like a bunch of tinky tink stuff to me, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I force myself and listen to it, and then afterwards I think, yeah, but it did make me think about this, and it did make me think about that. So yeah, I kind of like that.
Hmm.
And then I think, oh, okay, and I won't listen to something like that again for a while, you know. And I've been listening to some of the newer, you know, the new connection people that are coming together. Like I think it was Willow, the Willow, and I like their stuff.
Okay.
And it's very traditional
Okay.
with two young, you know, and it's very traditional. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. And the song was very familiar.
Hmm.
You know, it sounded familiar. When I guess, you know, there's it's great to be creative, and it's good to have all that kind of, you know, new kind of what you think is new going through your head. But then again, you know, it was just as much enjoyment listening to a song that they had written but was familiar. It just
Yeah,
sounded
yeah.
like something I'd heard before.
How long have you been here, Jane? How many years? When did you come over?
Um, it'll be 20 years in March, the first week
Wow.
of March,
Okay. How
if
many
I make it that.
musicians have you played with in that time?
Oh my. Um,
A few hundred, I think.
well, quite a few, but mainly just because I was in Gloucester area first, so I was playing the blues first.
Hmm.
So um, I would think probably about in the Cheltenham area and in the Gloucester area, 25, maybe 30 guys, different people.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know, everybody just moved around and did stuff like, you know, they're either gone or doing other things. Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
started to
then,
look at your Facebook page to see how many different musicians you work with. I just gave up because it's a waste of time.
well,
It's too
yeah,
many.
well, it's just because I love, you know me, I just
I
love
do know
sharing
you, Jane.
music. So it's kind of like I just like sharing. I've always called myself the musical whore,
No,
but that's just because, you know, I like playing music with everybody because it's a joy. I like the music. I'm not in for the, you know, I never wanted to be, I never thought of being a star. That has never been part of my repertoire. But I do want to play music.
of
And I love the more people that want to
course.
be part of it,
Mm,
which whether they want to watch it or play it, I'm in. So,
definitely.
you know, the more that want to add their own, you know, bit to it, then the better. So I've played with big bands, and I've played rock, I've played blues, I've played folk, I played country. I've done it all. It well in the 20 years I've been here,
Mm,
where I was only doing cover stuff to begin with my career, and then I did my own stuff after the cover stuff, and then I did well the blues and my own stuff, and then yeah, I came over here and I never really did country music over there. We did bluegrass and stuff, but
okay. Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
in Kentucky can do bluegrass. That's no that's like, you know,
Standard.
saying that it's like having fried chicken. Everybody's had that, you know.
Yeah. Excellent.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Is there
but
anything that you'd like to say to the good people of the Forest and of Monmouth and of Wales and of Gloucestershire before you
oh
go?
yeah, I want to tell them I love them because I do. I love every one of them, whether I played music with them or not. I love them. I mean, I truly have made just my own family, my own British family over here, and they're just wonderful people.
Mm,
Every last one of them
yeah. Well, I think
from
there's
every area.
a lot of people going to miss you, Jane, and I
And
think
I'm going to miss them too. Don't get me started. Now you're going to make
certainly
me
the
cry.
music scene will be much poorer without you. And personally, I've loved what we've done together, both recording and you
Me
know
too.
Earl and Pearl. So we've got to sort that out somewhere along the line. So
Well, I keep telling them I keep telling the guys that we can still do all this stuff. We can still we can do it on internet. We can
yeah,
do
well,
it on
true. Mm,
Zoom. We can do it on um, send each other recording bits and add on and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much what the guys are doing now, finishing the CD.
mm,
And I'll just keep doing it that way. We just won't get to perform it unless we think of a combination on here to do it
yes,
with,
that's true.
which but that didn't slow Thad down.
No,
That hasn't
no,
slowed Thad down.
no.
So we can still do all that
Mm,
stuff. We can still do it. It
yeah.
it can still happen. It can still happen.
So I think
Definitely.
the recording of this interview is going to be scheduled to go out on US election night. Are you
Great.
scared?
No, I'm not scared. Being a spiritualist, I know that even if I had a realization yesterday with a bunch of ladies from California on Unify, a spiritual gathering of well-wishing women that are all about sending the love out, and it was the fact that I'm convinced that Trump will, well, the way I understand it in my soul self, is that even if he does win again, it will be just the tearing down of the total chaos, and it all coming to a head like it should come to a head, because this is to let the people know that it's hatred is not a quality that should be in a president, and it should not be in how a social government should be run. That it's not about hatred, it's about us helping each other. And I think that's the other reason I'm going home, is because I'm going to be there to go, okay, I can do that. I can help with this. Let me know, I can do this.
Well, that seems a
So,
suitable point to play one of your songs. I think we'll just have a little break for a second, and we'll play "Soft Little Hands."
We were just talking about this crazy guy we know. He got a shot at a job of world power, so he gave it a go. First he fired all the good staff and started all over again by harassing all the women, figuring that's the way to begin. He's got soft little hands, yellow haystack hair. He's got a bright orange face, and he's just an old billionaire. He never thinks about what he says. He can ruin people's lives, and he don't really care. Well, that's the way he always does it. No one ever said it was wrong, because he's got tons of money that backs up his wicked tone. He never says he's sorry about the rotten things he does, 'cause he thinks he's always right and others' opinions don't mean much. He's got soft little hands, yellow haystack hair, a bright orange face, and he's just an old billionaire. He never thinks about what he says. He can ruin people's lives, and he don't really care.
Mexico. He wants Latino Americans to build a wall behind themselves as they go. He blows up a smoke screen of what's American and what is not, when he's just like the rest of us, made of good European stock. The only real Americans, he's robbed them of their land. Now he'll poison their water and probably their children's children. He's got soft little hands, yellow haystack hair. He's got a bright orange face, and he's just an old billionaire. He never thinks about what he says. He can ruin people's lives, and he don't really care. He's got soft little hands, yellow haystack hair. He's got a bright orange face, and he's just an old billionaire. He never thinks about what he says. He can ruin people's lives, and he don't really care. He can ruin people's lives, and he don't really care.
Well, it's just the fact that, I think that as long as, I know why I was put over here, because everybody thinks it might be my fourth husband, but I'm pretty sure it's not. But he was
But the
part
trail
of it. Yeah.
trail of love and destruction, Jane, that you've caused over here. We're just going to have to. It's time for you to go. We're going to have to export you now.
No. You need to talk to Nige. Nige is fine. He is perfectly happy with his life now that I'm not in it. As a matter of fact, I think he's even happier than he's been in a long time.
Oh dear.
So I don't think that. He doesn't describe his life with me as being disastrous. It's just that it was okay. That's an ending to something, just like a song. It has an ending. But I thought that was what was bringing me over. But I've known since 1971 that I would be here in this country. Because we visited my family. My dad drove us all around, and we went all around Europe. But I connected with the UK like then. I knew my heart was going to be here. And I'd said ever since I was 16 at the time, and ever since in college, I was going, I'm going to end up in Britain, in the UK, and they were going, yeah, sure you are, Jane. Yeah. But,
Of course.
that is the curse of being a spiritual or clairvoyant, is that, things long before they're going to happen.
Well, I guess you do. Yeah.
And you could also, if it's something you're not thinking you really want, you think you can wish it away. That's the curse part of it. No, it happens anyway. So that's the thing, is I know that I've been brought over here because I had the same understanding in America that I have here, that there are so many caring and loving people, and that it's, the grass is not greener on the other side. It's not. It's the same grass.
It's the same grass.
It's just as green over here as it is over there. And it's, that it's the same loving people. It's the same people that can, that you connect with. It's the characters. It's the ones that don't like themselves. It's the ones who love themselves a lot. It's everybody that you come in contact with. And every area that I've been to has just been spectacular. It taught me a lot about life and people, and given me plenty of music to write. Just lots of songs. Brilliant. Just from the sheer exchange of the love. And yeah, I'm going to miss it because it's direct. when you're in it. But that doesn't mean that the love's going to stop. It's just not going to be a direct thing. It'll be like this, which is just as much a love. I love looking at you because you're a handsome man. And, there's all kinds of things that, we need to do, and we can do it universal. That's the other thing is everybody wants to make a big deal out of either not wanting to be on the internet or wanting to be totally on the internet, and how how this works. And I think what we're going to be ended up doing is understanding the balance of it. And everybody's going to spend scheduled time on it, just like we do outside.
Well, I'm looking forward to harassing you on the internet when you're over there and we're over here.
And I'm looking forward to harassing you as well, there, buddy. I might even bring some people with me.
Hey, that's okay. I'm just going to have to look around for somebody that, as we've had Earl and Pearl, somebody that rhymes with Earl. So
I know. Well, you might end up getting call it Earl and another girl.
Yeah, Earl the girl,
or a girl other than Pearl.
Yes,
you're a songwriter. Be creative.
Earl, not Pearl. Yeah, I will miss those. I'll miss those nights and with Lyndon and Charlie and Al. It's they were great.
Al's all the way up to his eyeballs in it now.
I know, he's a busy boy, isn't he? Yeah.
I just think, wow, your real job is definitely a real job now, bud.
Yeah.
Health and safety. It's like, what? Ooh.
Yeah. He's going to be having a tough time, I think, that one.
I think so too. Well, we'll send Al some love anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm figuring that we could do the all-star thing, and
definitely.
you can pass it down to your children, get your children active. That's what I'm planning on doing, getting my children active when I get over there.
They're not very active at the moment. It's difficult getting them out of bed, to be honest, Jane, but
well,
that's teenagers for you.
I understand that. I'm having the same problem myself.
I used to be the same, so can't knock it.
Teenagers.
Okay.
I love it. They're an inspiration. They'll keep you young, my man. They will keep you young.
We're going to have to we'll have to do this again when you've moved over there and you've settled in and things are tickety-boo in the land of Trump. And then you can maybe do as a song or something that I can play to people over here. How about that?
Yeah. Oh, that would be brilliant. And I love you to pieces, Stuart. I do. I love you to pieces.
Love you too.
And you've got, I love your family. They're just so wonderful to look at, and they're just so sweet. And I know you think teenagers aren't sweet, but I could eat them up. I think they're just adorable, absolutely adorable. Yeah. And you just have a lovely life. You have a lovely life.
I'll try. And you. And I hope the family works out well in
they're
Kentucky.
fine. They'll be fine. They'll be even finer once they can boss me around. They love that kind of stuff. So it'll be fine. Yeah.
What are you called? Are you called Nanny or?
I'm Nana.
Nana. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aunt Jane and Nana. That's my thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Those will be what I'm called the most. So yeah. And one likes to call me Nana Banana. He thinks that's funny.
Yeah, well, that's quite good. Yeah.
That's fine. That's be fine. Yeah.
You can get a song out of that, Jane.
I know. I have a whole CD called Big Nana.
Yes.
So
you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a whole CD, and that's it. Big Nana.
Yeah. Volume 2 will be Nana Banana.
That'll be Nana Banana going crazy in Kentucky. Yeah, that'll be it.
Right.
Well, I love you to pieces.
You take care, darling, and
I love you all.
Well, we'll speak before you go anyway, because your going is sort of indeterminate. I think is probably the best way.
Yeah, it's just train tracks.
Yeah.
I'm heading that way.
All right.
I'm not out of sight yet, but I'm getting there.
All right. Safe trip, and see you soon.
Love. Yeah. Love you, man.
Bye.
I don't care what they say about you. I love you.
shiver and you shake. When you want that loving, yeah, you want it right away. 'Cause you're a mama's sweet dog. Yeah, that's all it is, baby. You're a cat and I'm a dog. From Pauline.
So, best of luck to Jane. Best of luck on your travels, and we look forward to seeing you again at some point. And at the point of recording this, the result of the American election is imminent. So, good luck with that, whoever you are. We shall see. So I guess probably the last word should go to Jane, and this is her extremely suggestive "I'm taking my Jemima back."
Well, I put it in the papers, in the personal ads. I went online dating and it wasn't half bad. Maybe a couple of blind ones is the trouble, is I could see that most were batshit crazy and for me could never be. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause no one wants it but me. I'm taking my Jemima back. It's wasted, lost property. I'm taking my Jemima back. My husband couldn't find it with a 10-foot pole. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause my love's tired of being on hold. Well, I stood on the corner till my hands and feet were froze, looking pretty darn sexy in my hot lingerie clothes. I didn't get any takers and I still ain't had none yet, but I'm giving up explaining how my needs aren't being met. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause no one wants it but me. I'm taking my Jemima back. It's wasted, lost property. I'm taking my Jemima back. My husband couldn't find it with a 10-foot pole. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause my love's tired of being on hold. Well, no one wants to listen anymore and no one really cares. At least that's what I found out, and I wasn't quite prepared. So now I'm dancing naked in the moonlight all alone, happy with my own love and it's safe old Crone's home. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause no one wants it but me. I'm taking my Jemima back. Yeah, it's wasted, lost property. I'm taking my Jemima back. My husband couldn't find it with a 10-foot pole. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause my love's tired of being on hold. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause no one wants it but me. I'm taking my Jemima back. Yeah, it's wasted, lost property. I'm taking my Jemima back. My husband couldn't find it with a 10-foot pole. I'm taking my Jemima back, 'cause my love's tired of being on hold. I'm taking my Jemima back.
Well, there we are. That's another one done. So there'll be a quickie next week on Wednesday night, and then there'll be a full session in a couple of weeks' time. Don't know who the guest is yet, but we'll think something along the way. So, best thing is stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you soon.